Hello viewers, I finally get to do some wildlife photography. You can see a bird hopefully perched on the window watching out for its mate, and its mate is actually eating some of the crumbs I'd left for it, and the crumbs were actually a cake. I'd been leaving breadcrumbs for these guys, but you know, I had some leftover cake, and there you go. Wildlife photography in action. Who says you can't be a goddamn naturalist? Huh? Who says that you need to have a goddamn $3,000 setup? Huh? Who says you need to go out to Africa? Huh? Look at this stuff. This is freaking classic. It couldn't be better if I planned it. It looks like that damn thing is entertaining me right now. Now there's a birdhouse that I picked up, like, basically off the street where I was living down in Scarborough. And you can see some breadcrumbs in there. And these poor little suckers, they actually don't even sleep up here or go in there. They actually go underneath in here. This is a bear. It's an upside down bear. It's a really cute upside down stone bear. And I put some flowers in there. And these two, I think they're a couple. They basically, you know, come here, eat the bread, hang out, and do all that kind of stuff. So this is marvelous. I mean, this is ideal. This is to a point where basically, you know, there's too much footage. I don't even know what to do. I mean, should I keep filming? I mean, at some point you're gonna go bored of seeing this stupid bird doing its silly little things. Or are you? I think you are. Most people grow bored very quickly of anything, and that's why they're boring. In any case, I've been up for a bit, cleaning up the house here finally. Don't know where the wife element is. Actually, I do. She's downstairs with Doris. And I got a longish day ahead of me. I gotta go get my driver's license replaced. I gotta go and I guess this should be better. The light, right? Get my driver's license replaced. Go out to Scarborough to see some lady about a room. I basically might be moving out of this beautiful, like, $500,000-$600,000 condo into a freaking basement room where I don't even have a stove. Right? I can't cook down there. I gotta buy a microwave and a small fridge in order to just feed myself. And she keeps telling me there's a McDonald's across the road, hint, hint. And a No Frills across the road, hint, hint, hint. She's a cool old lady, though. I really dig her. The thing with moving to Scarborough is it takes me 2 hours. 2 hours to commute to work every day. 2 hours. And so, that's just not on, man. 2 hours to commute to work? What kind of nonsense is that? And that's each way. That's not even one way. That's each way. That's 4 hours of commuting a day. I never commuted more than half an hour one way in my life. Why am I going to put myself through that torture? I'd rather move out of this place. I'm telling you, this is the dream of dreams, living in this place. We got a gym downstairs. And I had another list going. I know I'll get back to that one in just a second. We have a gym downstairs. We got freaking racquetball courts downstairs. We got a whirlpool. We got saunas. We got a swimming pool. We got a backyard garden, which I can show you. Oh, there it goes. Look at that thing. Aren't they cute? Well, there's the garden down there. There's even a pavilion in there. There's like swings and stuff like that. I mean, this place is the bomb. Hey, by the way, you like this sign? Pedestrians, please use other sidewalk. And this pedestrian just grabbed the freaking sign and made his way over to wherever the hell he wanted to go, right? Now, I don't know. I mean, I don't just rip things off the road. You know, you shouldn't get the impression that I'm irresponsible. I'm actually very responsible. If I see a sign that's misplaced and it needs to be in its place, I'll put it there. But on the other hand, this piece of crap is like basically rotting away or something or whatever. It's kind of basically discarded. Whatever, you know, read between the lines. In any case, I had a list going. Driver's license. See the woman. Then I got to go downtown and meet my ex-wife. My ex-wife. At 6:30 outside of her hair academy. Hair academy. That's the one on 125 King Street. The Avida Hair Academy. I don't know if I'm more in love with my ex-wife or my wife or some girl I met on the train called Kim. I want someone to have my baby, and that's the woman I'm going to love, right? Very simple. The woman who gives me a child is the woman of my dreams. It's really very freaking simple. Women don't seem to understand this thing. But actually, apart from my current wife, I mean, I say current wife, although, you know, the relationship, to say it's been on the rocks would be basically an understatement. It's not like we've been fighting. Actually, we haven't been doing much of anything. We've barely been talking. And I'm talking about, like, maybe 5 words maximum per day when she's here. When she's not with Doris or with her sister. In any case, I'm ranting and raving. I got a lot of stuff to do. And the problem is that because it's Ramadan... Oh wait, another friend joined these guys. You see, the Quran says that all animals are a community like yourself. And that everything in the heaven and earth praises God, but you don't understand their praise. But in any case, animals talk to one another, they congregate, they fight, they do all kinds of stuff. I mean, we think animals are stupid. Actually, people are stupid. Most people are more stupid than animals. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you the truth. Watch animals and study them. Watch some wildlife documentaries. They're very smart. You know how hard it is surviving out there? It's very freaking hard. We live in a very sheltered, protected world. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God the most glorified and high, says in the Quran that Inna Allah dhul fadli ala nasi walakinna akthara nasi la ya'lamun. God is full of grace and favors and bounty to people. Basically, He treats them really well, takes care of them, but most people don't realize it. If you look at the animal kingdom, if you talk to biologists and evolutionists and whatever, those people who study that kind of thing, the first thing they're likely to say in their prefacing statement, if you ask them to discuss their field of study, is that nature is a fucking bitch. Nature is chaos. Nature is like animals being ripped apart, blood sucked out, talons ripped off, heads being bit off, all kinds of crap. Like, I mean, you're basically torn between 2 things. Finding food and not being someone's food. That's it. The sleeping you got to do. The procreating is like, whatever. It's like a natural urge. But the majority of your time is spent doing those 2 things. Finding food and not becoming food. Yeah, and so if you see animals in a pack, they basically guard each other. Like gazelle, for instance. Right? Gazelle will basically graze, and one of them will stand off to the side looking out for lions. Go check that stuff out. And you say that animals are stupid? We're stupid. If we had that kind of teamwork, and if we had that kind of coordination, and if we had that kind of, you know, whatever it is that they have, unity, we wouldn't have such problems today. The problem is that we're idiots. And so, long day, Ramadan, I got up at like 3:45 and 8, and then at 4:30 is dawn, and so I prayed, and I've been up since then. I decided I didn't want to go to sleep. I wanted to watch a movie. And by the time, like, basically after you've woken up, even if you're very tired, this is a very good tip, by the way. If you're very tired and you wake up, what you'll notice is your tiredness will dissipate, and after about 20 minutes you won't even feel it anymore. It's just like eating. You're very hungry. Eat a moderate amount of food. Don't fill your stomach. And you'll still feel a little hungry afterwards, but after 20 minutes you won't feel hungry anymore. These 2 things are very key. There's a beautiful saying from the holy imams or leaders from the family of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him and his family, whom we Shias follow. We believe Prophet Muhammad had successors, divinely appointed successors. Sunni Muslims, on the other hand, politicized Islam, and they chose an elected caliph who wasn't really elected. Basically, all the leaders, the tribal leaders, got together and they said, okay, we'll choose this man. It wasn't even that civil. It was more like fighting and practically hitting each other with canes and pulling each other's beards. And then finally, like, one guy's like, okay, I'm pledging allegiance to this guy, and that guy became the man. And then that guy chose number 2 and number 3. And by the time number 3 was killed by the people, like, you know, the Muslims in general, because he had usurped and oppressed and stolen treasury and appointed, you know, all of his relatives into posts all the way out to Syria. By the time all this happened and there was this debacle that had become of the Muslim state, the people basically, they killed a guy, and Imam Ali, who we believe was the first successor, who was the real successor of Prophet Muhammad, his cousin and son-in-law, sorry. Imam Ali, peace be upon him, was forced, literally forced by the people to become the caliph. They literally dragged him and forced him to become the caliph. They said that nobody can take care of the state of affairs except for you. And of course, when he went into power and started shaking things up, there were wars. All of the rich and entrenched people came out fighting. I mean, there were major battles. Like a wife of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and his family came out in battle against him. So, I've been awake, and I just don't know what's going on. I got to move to Scarborough. I got to leave my stuff here. And that's really that. Life goes on. I mean, the good news is I got this great job. It's telemarketing. Now, you're going to look down on telemarketing. That's because you're a freaking idiot. You're going to look down in sales. That's because you don't know anything about life. If you don't know that every time you open your mouth, you're communicating and you're selling, if you don't know that, then you're actually, you don't know how to communicate, quite frankly. It's all sales. Everything from your body language to the way you intone, to your thoughts, to your very thoughts. That's where it gets really deep. And those of you who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. And don't send me those thoughts, okay? I can feel them. Yeah? I can feel them even though I haven't even put this online yet. How do you like that? Yeah. Okay, that's a bit woohoo. That's the kind of thing that gets you diagnosed as being bipolar. Fuck being bipolar. And fuck taking my medication. That stuff was turning me into a brain-dead, depressed, suicidal zombie. Yeah. They don't want you to be depressed and they don't want you to be manic. They just want you to be a goddamn vegetable. They can't handle the fact that someone might have, you know, some cogent thoughts and a bit of energy. Now, most people are asleep at the wheel. Have you seen what people are like? They just sit there like this. Like on the bus, they're like this. And then they might look out the window, then they go back to like this. They're fearful, shackled creatures. People think religion is an encumbrance because they're stupid once again. They're fucking stupid. They're stupid. The Quran says, respond to the Prophet when he calls you to that which brings you, enlivens you, which brings you life, which gives you life. And it also refers to shackles and fetters, which are ropes binding you. You know, religion is going to free you from those ropes. The ropes are all in your fucking mind. People don't understand crap about crap. They don't understand religion because they don't want to be accountable for their actions. I don't know why I'm panning across the room. Maybe just to get in this beautiful condo one last time. So there's the first of my bags. And, you know, like some laundry under here that's been lying here for more like a month. More than a month. I've done, actually, this was the last load of laundry. And this was the most recent load of laundry. Which was like last week. And that was like a fucking month ago. And then I finally put up stuff in here. Like, when I moved in here, this fucking place, I'll tell you how it looked. This is how it looked. Like this. You see this? This is Pamela's room. My stepdaughter. See, all that stuff I put up there, by the way. That's pretty cool, huh? It's, what her name? Taylor Swift. And she's got a mustache and a cigarette in her mouth or something like that. I thought it was funny. Then I put Justin Bieber right up there, making fun of her. Because she used to like Justin Bieber, right? But look at this goddamn fucking mess. It's like a foot high of fucking clothes. I'm not even kidding. Look at this shit. I'm not even going to go around the other side over there. The whole goddamn house was practically like that. Not even that bad. Who took care of it? Fucking me. Yeah, I came in here and I cleaned the whole place up. Look at this place. It's nice and organized. I even cut up pictures, put them up like that. I got in trouble for this shit. Look at that. I made nice mementos and all kinds of cool shit. I put up like pictures on the walls, all kinds of stuff like that, moved stuff around, brought in a TV, brought in a sofa, brought in some extra furniture in case we needed it, organized the tapes and books. You know, it's a bit kind of disheveled, but fuck, you should have seen it before. Now we go into the kitchen, same kind of thing. I just finished up in the kitchen. I'm so goddamn proud of this shit. That's why I'm recording it. Yeah, this is 15 minutes. Fuck that, man. Dream car, it's been my dream car forever. It's not really a dream car. It's just a reminder that I don't give a shit about these kinds of things. Honestly. Like, fuck, I'd rather live my life taking the bus every day than, you know, worry about status and cars and bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit. It's all in your mind. You basically do the best with what you have. That's really what it is. Now, this is beautiful right here. You know, as soon as you enter the house, you see the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it says over here, وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حَجَّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. And for Allah, upon people is pilgrimage to the house. You know, so people owe God that right, or they are obliged to visit the house. But then it says, مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. Whoever has a way or means to get there. So as you know, you have to, as you must or should know, you have to, you know, do the pilgrimage once in your life to Mecca. And by the way, it's the largest annual gathering of people in the world. It can be seen from space, 4 million or so people. As well, the foundations for the house of Allah, the Holy Kaaba, they were laid. You like this little smiley thing? I just put that up there right now to bug the neighbors. I was playing, you know, I confess I just had one of these days this morning. I played loud music, really loud, full volume on the TV. I found this lead that allowed me to plug the computer into the TV. I blasted everything from freaking Carcass to like Soulfly, Fear Factory, Iron Maiden, Alice in Chains. I mixed it up with some Yes, Wu-Tang Clan. I don't know, man. So these guys were like, when I turned it off finally, I went outside because I heard this lady on her phone like blah blah blah. I heard this voice outside, blah, 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 like, you know, nosy neighbor syndrome. And so it's like, love thy neighbor, of course, and don't oppress them, but also don't let them give you shit. Look at this stuff. There's a river down there. You can't even see it right now because the trees are in full bloom. When I moved in here 4 months ago in March, you could see it, and it winds, and you can basically more or less take this trail all the way downtown. Right off in the distance, maximum zoom, right there in the center of the screen is the CN Tower, downtown. So as I was saying before, this is, favorite chair obviously, as I was saying before, this is you know, it's like your dream house. I've been talking about this place for years, and you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God, the most praised and glorified and the most high, bestowed it to me, but under very strange circumstances. I fell in love with this lady called Daniela and moved in here with her, and now she's moved out. I don't even know where she's gone. Like, she's downstairs with Doris or with her sisters, and I've been asking and begging her to tell me whether or not she wants me to move out, and she's kind of like, whatever. Like, what the hell? Because you see, if I move out, there's no one to take care of her. She doesn't have a job, she doesn't have money, she'll run out of food. She didn't even have fucking electricity here for 3 weeks. And I'm meant to move out. You know, I'm meant to fucking just move out, right? That doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. How am I going to answer to God on the day of judgment? So now I got to stay here and look like a bad guy leeching off her, clean up the whole goddamn house. It doesn't matter. I'm not complaining. God's great. I was talking about the Kaaba. The Kaaba was laid by Prophet Abraham, peace be upon him, and his son Ismail. The foundations of the Kaaba. You know, people don't understand Islam at all. You want to understand Islam? Look at the Torah. Okay? And then look at the Bible. Everything that's in the Bible and the Torah is actually practiced by Muslims. Yeah. All the things that you guys blame us for, Sharia law, is already in the Torah. Stoning people, yeah, whipping people, all this stuff. I mean, it sounds harsh, but the point is this. Do you expect religion to conform completely and 100% to your opinion? Is it possible that there are certain things that you may not agree with because religion was actually conceived by God, if there is such a being? The most praised, the most high? Do you understand where I'm coming from? I'll restate it in more simpler terms for anyone who's actually listened this far and who's interested in wildlife photography. It might even include a little fly. Flies aren't such bad guys. Yeah? There's a very interesting story. One of our Imams, peace be upon him, was sitting with one of the evil Sunni kings. And the king was being bothered by a fly. And again, the fly, came and, like, basically, bothered the king. And the king was like, why are these flies created? Because our Imams, peace be upon them, they knew everything. Imam Ali would say, Saluni, Saluni, qabla an tafqaduni. He used to speak in rhyme. Don't ask me how or why that's possible. But that's what he did. No, not many people know this. I know this because I've looked at and kind of, I won't say studied, but I've seen some of his sermons in Arabic. And I realized that they rhyme, just like the Holy Quran. The Holy Quran rhymes, all of it. The whole thing from beginning to end rhymes. It's very mysterious. It rhymes in such a way that it's something beyond. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his family said that the likeness of the Quran to other literature is the same as comparing God to his creatures. So, in any case, why did God create flies? He asked our Imam. Our Imam said to trouble arrogant people. Can you believe that? Flies were created, according to our belief, to be a pest to arrogant people. So when you're feeling so if a fly's bugging you, it's because you're feeling arrogant. Is that weird? I think that's pretty cool. You'll say, well, that's really unscientific. Fuck science then. Here's another thing. There's no distinction and difference between science and religion. That's a Western fallacy and a Western concept. The whole thing of there being some kind of contradiction between religion and science is so far-fetched. All of modern science was born out of Muslim scientists and scholars. All of it, from engineering to maths. There's not a single branch. Physics, medicine, you name it. Go back and look. Look up Cordoba, Spain. Everyone's heard of Ibn Sina, the father of medicine. Nobody's heard of the father of physics, the father of algebra, the father of engineering, all these other disciplines. I mean, I haven't heard of the father of engineering. I'm just throwing that out there. There is a father of algebra and, I think a father of physics. All Muslims. Go check it out. And if you want to really go into it, many, if not all of them, take their roots back to our sixth Imam. Our sixth Imam used to give classes. There would be like 1,000 horses lined up outside his classes. Yeah. And all of the Sunni so-called Imams, because when we had Imams, they had to come up with Imams too. They came up with 4 fellows who lived about 150 to 200 years after Prophet Muhammad. Now, here's the thing. Most people who are listening to this, if you do listen to it, will not understand what I'm talking about, or may. I'm linking it all together. I've already told you what Imam means. It means leader. The leaders that we follow, the successors, as in to Prophet Muhammad, the ones who explain religion as it pertains to today, those are all from his progeny, peace be upon them all. As in his daughter, the lady Fatima, the peace and blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon her, and her children. She was married to Imam Ali, the first Imam, peace be upon him, who was also the cousin of Prophet Muhammad. They had 2 sons who were called Hassan and Hussein, and Imam Hussein was the younger son. He was the 3rd Imam after Imam Hassan and after Imam Ali. 9 descendants of Imam Hussein are our Imams. The 12th Imam is in hiding because all of our Imams were persecuted and killed by the evil Sunni kings, so-called caliphs. The Sunnis say, well, only the first 4 caliphs were rightly guided. The whole thing is just nonsense. It's just like today. Nothing's changed. You see, there's 2 Islams. There's the real Islam, as I like to call it, which is the spirituality and the compassion and the peace and the mercy and all this kind of stuff. And then there's the politics. There's the Saudis, right? There's the Wahhabis, the extremists. Like back in the day, the extremists killed Imam Hussein, the grandson of their own holy prophet. They surrounded his little band of friends and followers, 72 of them, and women and children. They kept them hungry and thirsty for 3 days. They cut off their water supply. And then they killed them, all the men, and they took the women and children hostage and captives. They put them on camels with no saddles, tied up their wrists, kids getting trampled by camels, all kinds of stuff. But this kind of barbaric behavior that we see today is nothing new. Like, you see, Shias are the real anti-terrorists. Yeah, Hezbollah are Shias, and Hezbollah kicked Israel's ass. Fuck Israel for going into Lebanon, yeah, and blowing up a quarter of the country. Bridges, everything. Over what? 2 soldiers? What the fuck are you talking about? You know what they say? Oh, that Lebanese or Hezbollah went into Israel and kidnapped 2 Israeli soldiers. The Christian Science Monitor reported the actual truth, as I believe it. I mean, Imam Ali said, peace be upon him, that if you've seen it, it's the truth. But if you've heard it, then it's false. He said the difference between truth and false is 4 fingers. Someone asked him, what do you mean? He put his 4 fingers right here. He says, if you've seen it, it's true. If you've just heard it, it's false. So, I mean, I read it in the Christian Science Monitor that the 2 soldiers had actually incurred or excursioned or whatever, infiltrated into Lebanese sovereign land, right? And they were picked up by patrols. And then Israel comes in with tanks and shit. You know, it's because they got their ass kicked out of southern Lebanon by who again? By Shias. Yeah, by Hezbollah. You'll never see a Shia suicide bomber, by the way. They call us terrorists and all this stuff. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The real Islam is one of peace and compassion and spirituality and wisdom beyond anything you'll ever fucking know, unless you read it. You'll never know. And how can I say that? I've read everything from the Tao Te Ching, the Bhagavad Gita, Lao Tzu, Confucius, you name it. Now,